Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online prelim. We're on the play for game one. Let's take a look at our opening hand. This hand is good. We'll keep. Let's see here. This is more or less the sequencing that we're looking at right now, though it is dependent on a couple factors. Reveal Devourer, trigger. Looking for a threat, ideally. Emrakul's a thought. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At the very least, 8. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, if we hit 4 card types other than a sorcery and land, we can play the Emrakul. Alternatively, we could just go Utopia Sprawl and go Lab, Devour, Talisman, Misty, Utopia Sprawl, Rumble, which is another option. Those ramp us one more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Otherwise, we can go World Breaker and Null Drifter. Kind of tempted to go Null Drifter. Let's go Null Drifter. That way we can just dig a bit deeper. Emrakul would have been nice, theoretically. But we got 2 more in the deck. And it's going to be much more obtainable to cast the Null Drifter on turn 3. Got a Shrine Shock. Thoughtseize. Worked out because they're going to take the Rumble, so we're definitely going to want the card draw. So we'll probably set up now to... I don't want to process this. I think we want to evoke the Null Drifter. Alright, ETB trigger. I'll play the Rainforest and then pass. Now we just need to hope that they don't play White Orchid Phantom main. Relic is fine. No shot you missed your land drop. Friggin' hysterical. People be greedy these days. Commercial District. Return into Yard. And draw. I'm gonna play KGC. Hello, Relic. How you doing? I'm going to minus KGC. I'm going to fetch for a Liquid Metal Coating. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we can just play the Verdant Catacombs to thin. Alright, opponent, what say you? I guess if I would have played 2, 3, 4, no, I still would have been short. And you're going to be playing, or at least going up against an uphill battle here with the Liquid Metal. Even if you go Overlord here, I'll be able to exile it with a Haywire Might if I want. If you have Felia, we have the Return in hand. Yeah, opponent's not in a great position right now. Emperor Bones is fine. We'll go to end step. We'll take the return from Yard, I imagine. Yes. Go to end step. And I'm going to fetch the Verdant Catacombs. I'm going to clear board with the return, play Temple, and then Sinkhole a land. Not sure if my opponent will be able to recover, especially as they missed a land drop last turn, which means they must have drawn into that plains this turn. I think opponent's just generally considering conceding here. I think that's what is holding them up. Because they know about the other return in hand. They know I have another temple. Only card they don't know about is the second temple. They know about the return temple coding. They're saying sorry. All good. Must be a bit distracted. I'll go, let's say Stomping Grounds tapped. And draw. Windswept Teeth. So I will simply Kozilek's return. Clear the board. I'll play the Temple, so that way we can play the Devourer next turn. Play Liquid Metal Coating. Liquid Metal Coating, Godless Shrine. Tick up of KGC. Play Temple and pass. At this point, to stay even in the game, they need to draw land and play a threat, but even that won't cut it, short of them playing a White Orchid Phantom. Shady Backstreet will keep them in the game, but still not in a good spot. Phone scoops it up. So this is against Blink. Alright, so against Blink, I want Consign, Dismember, and Return. So we will cut the Ghost Quarter, KGC, and 2 Emrakul. Is that what I've decided on? Let me check the sideboard guide. I updated it last night. Let's see, Blink. That's what I've thought about. Because, like, Emrakul is nice, but sometimes it is a bit awkward because they have a ton of incidental graveyard hate. And also, they can just Solitude it if it's the only card on board. So really just leaning into the control mindset here with Consign, Dismember, Return. Keeping the one Karn so we can grab everything from Crypt, Might, Torpor Orb, etc. Let's run it back. Because as we've noted many times, sometimes just a Karn's really good because if you resolve it, sometimes all you need is just go Karn minus Liquid Metal, and Liquid Metal starts taking away the game. This hand's good. I keep. A good question though is what I want to pitch. We definitely want to play the Gemstone. We definitely want to reveal the Devourer. The only thing that gives me a bit hesitancy of exiling the Devourer is what if we find a lab? Though it's less likely that we find a lab than we find a forest. So we kind of want to go for the forest with our Sprawl, I would say. So yes, I will then exile the Devourer to Gemstone. Yeah, I think that's correct. And then pass. So ideally find a forest. Ideally a basic forest. Either that or a fetch, of course. So we should have 7 hits. Trigger. Also take a temple. Of course I do find that lab. So we will grab the forest. Talisman. Well, I guess I could not pay the 1, couldn't I? Because I can just go Sprawl, pay the green for blue. Talisman. Debating whether or not I want to rumble, actually. Kind of want to rumble. Yeah, because that will set us up for kicked Mycospawn if we hit a temple. And pass. As long as they don't interact with my spawn or my Utopia Sprawl in a meaningful way, there's a turn 2 kicked Mycospawn. Gotta love it. Relic target me. I'll exile the Wooded Foothill. Let's say, opponent. There's an Arid Mesa, so you're not short on lands at least. This would tell me you're looking for a Felia. With that in mind, I am going to cast Sowing Mycospawn. Not kicked? Yes, not kicked. This way we can hold up the command X2. I would be tempted to go Ugin Lab and tuck the Null Drifter, but I don't think that's necessary, so we're just going to go Temple and then hold the command. That way if they do play the Felia, we can just simply exile it. Arid Mesa fetch. Godless Shrine Shock. Cast Felia. There is Felia. In response, we're going to ramp and exile. We have draw with the Null Drifter. And pass. Sire friend with the dog must die. Target me, exile lab. Hold up the ability to respond, off chance you play Orcish Bowmaster. I don't believe you do. Well, unless you're the Vile version, but obviously you're not since you have Relic, so shouldn't be an issue. Thoughtseize? That'd be a bit obnoxious. Yeah, you got it. That means you have nothing else going on for you. So you take the Null Drifter, that much is obvious. Yep. If you miss your land drop, you're probably cracking the Relic. Trying to find a land. But like, you playing the Thoughtseize here means you really have nothing going on for you. So we just need to top deck some action, we should be good. Found the land. So you really have nothing? No Ketramos? No Overlord of the Baelmerk? Really? Command is fantastic. All first attack. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kinda tempted to command, but I think it might be better for me to hold. So I'm gonna play Talisman of Impulse. And then we're just gonna hold the command till end step. Fetch with the Marsh Flats down to 11. I mean, at this point, we're probably going to not ramp, but to... I guess we could... On end step, if they play nothing that we want to exile, we will ramp and scry draw. If we want something to exile, probably scry draw and exile. What is my turtle doing? Just splashing. Shadowy Backstreet. Alright. Relic target me? Or are you gonna crack the relic to draw a card? I mean, now might be the time to crack the relic, unless you're gonna play Ketramos. All right. No relic activation even, which is interesting. A little bit suspect. Bog. Okay, you're not worried about the 5 card types in yard, clearly. Emperor of Bones. I sense an adept on the way. I mean, them exiling the Null Drifter is kind of okay. At the same time, I think I'm just going to end exile. I kind of want that Null Drifter to stay in my yard, just in case I find an Emrakul, please. If you want to EFM this, be my guest. So, top, bottom, bottom, and bottom. I guess we could have kept the Sanctum. Exile and draw. Yep, that's fine. I mean, right now, opponent's in a pretty rough position. Plays the Forest. No reason to rush things. Let's attack with Zoan Microspawn. And hold up my Kozilek's command. I just need 2 attack phases. Oh, is it Ketramos? A Flicker Wisp. Yeah, do you want to flicker my forest with the Utopia Sprawl? Or you want to flicker the bog? Kind of okay if either. Flickering the bog gets you another blocker, which would probably be worth it for you at this point in time. What? That's a weird choice. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I get what you're going for, but really weird choice. End step, trigger, surveil, resolve. Would have been really, really funny if I went up the command, held up the gemstone, and then consigned the not delayed. No, I guess it would be a delayed trigger from the Flicker Wisp. So that way they just basically exile their land. I'm just gonna scry draw here. This should just be the game. Catacombs, Sprawl, Lab, Talisman, Temple, Dismember, top, top, and top. Draw. Four, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exile the Flicker Wisp and go to combat. No reason for me to play the other Devourer. We can take our time. This way, if they play a Ketramos, we're in a good spot. GG's. 4 for Witch Enchanter. Not enough of a blocker. Can destroy my Talisman. Destroy my Utopia Sprawl. That's fine. Yep, that will resolve. And Fatal Push. Thoughtseize. Takes out the Devourer. Wait 1 second. I was like, oh yeah, takes out my Devourer, but then I realized, hold on. But I'm going out the classy way. Alright, clean 2-0 win against Blink in round 1. We'll be back for round 2. Alright, we're back for round 2 on the draw for game 1. Let's take a look at our opening hand. That is once our opponent has decided that they want to go first. There they go. Fascinating. So what makes this hand good? Forest would make it good. A Caverns would make it good, so 10. Any of our blue talismans, so 2, 12. Yeah, I'll keep it. It's not my favorite hand in the world, but it is keepable. I'll talk an Emrakul since we have duplicates. Devourer and pass. Ooh, looks like energy, so this hand got ostensibly worse. Alright, well we did find the wooded foothills. Yes, so wooded foothills. Fetch. I don't need to worry about any land destruction main, so we can go Breeding Pool, Shock, Utopia Sprawl for red, and pass. And pass. Now we need to find a Kozilek's return off this Null Drifter. Yeah, that our Kozilek's command would also be good. Of course, Ragavan will hit return. Okay, hit an Emrakul, that's fine. Yeah, the day that Energy plays main deck land destruction is the day that I think I stop playing Eldrazi Ramp. Well, now you're just rude as hell. That's such a freaking ballsy move. We will rumble. I'll grab a Misty Rain. And I think we have to snap block. 4 card types in yard. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we likely snap block and then draw 2. Once we draw into, let's say, a Sowing Myco spawn. I mean, I'm kind of glad that they went Thraben Charm. At least that way they're not doing all too much. Means that their hand is pretty reactive. That, oh, no, go to blocks. And block. Ranger Captain of Eos. Well, we'll pass. We got nothing else. Grab a Guide of Souls or an Ocelot Pride. Guide of Souls. Okay. Draw. Stomping Ground. Evoke. There's the return. So I can go Misty Rain, and we can go for Commercial District. Should have looked at my exile before I did that. But pause on end step. Actually, there's a world where Ragavan freaking hits my Commercial District. I will fetch this before before it connects. Thought about that for a moment, then realized. We'll take 5 down to 10. I will fetch, so it's going to be down to 9. District, trigger. You can take my Verdant Catacombs. We are in trouble, though. This is not sustainable. Even with this return, we're still going to be in a bit of trouble. The good news is that the Guide of Souls and anything else they play here after should be destroyed by return, the only exception being Ranger Captain of Eos. Let's see, when we do cast return, we'll have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's the Guide of Souls. You got anything else going for your friend? You're missing land drops. Can we get out of this situation is the question. I mean, we definitely can. It's going to be tough, though. I'm tempted to Rumble next turn. At the same time, it means I'd have to shock the Stomping Grounds unless I draw into something. Because we'd want to cast the return on their turn. Try and get the most out of it. Playing something here. If they play in a Johnny, we will sweep on our turn. Do it, play a Johnny. Do it, coward. Oh, shoot. That's so much worse for me. Okay. Well, that sucks royally. So no matter what, I'm taking 5 down to 4, a theoretical 3. So Stomping Ground tapped. Utopia Sprawl and Commercial Districts for blue. Opponent's thinking about something. You want to... Hey, if you want to crack that Ranger Captain of Eos, I'm not going to be upset by it. Put it that way. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. Okay. Passing. Let's see if they play anything on main to try and maybe flip. Or not flip, but yeah, they do not. Beginning of combat. We're going to go for it then. And pass. So we'll take 2 down to 7. And 7 down to 4. A theoretical 3. Yes. 5 card types. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need either a soul land or to put... Oh, you got to be effing joking me. They did have the Johnny. Yeah, that they just drew into it. So we lose. Because we're going to go down to 3. Take 2, down to 1. Sack 1, down to 0. Yeah. Unfortunate, but not surprising. Our hand was... probably fine into anything but energy. So, it is what it is. Alright, we want Dismember and return. We'll cut 2 KGC and a gemstone and run it back. Opponent's going to be bringing in Molten Rain, so we do need to be mindful of that. I so hope that the post-Breach meta will force Energy to focus more on Blink, because to my knowledge, Blink has a bad matchup or has a good matchup into Energy. Let me actually verify that if I'm correct. Go to Discord. Metagame data. How's the Energy Blink matchup? Blink into Energy. Actually, no. Blink has a bad matchup into Energy. Not by much, but that's a bit surprising. Yeah, look at that. Has a bad matchup into Ramp, though. Bad matchup into Titan. Into Esper mid-range. Good matchup into Zoo. Demir mid-range is 50-50. Jeskai Energy, bad. Ruby Storm, surprisingly good. Mill, bad. And then everything else is good. Okay, interesting. Well, let's see if we can get there in games 2 and game 3. Now that we know what we're up against, we can make some more educated decisions on our keeps. Doubt I would have kept that opening hand had I known it was Energy. Again, a reason why I do advocate, or one of the many reasons why I advocate for open deck lists in events where you have to register a list. It just makes more sense. It makes the matchups less guesswork, right? Because sometimes you really can just lose a game, or like a game 1 especially, simply because you don't know what you're up against. Whereas when you know, then the matchup becomes more nuanced. You're able to make better mulligan decisions in game 1. I think it would be overall better, like a better experience for most people if that were the case. Leave the surprises at the door. Especially at like even tournaments or paper tournaments. Like that way you're not punished by taking long in your round 1, because otherwise you can't scout. On to play for game 2. I will keep. I'll reveal. Trigger. Probably gonna go with a Cavern of Souls. Yeah, could go with Emrakul. That is an option. Kind of tempted by it, but I do think the Cavern of Souls might be correct. Commercial District, trigger, top, and pass, and pass. Let's say you opponent. I'm going to guess turn 1 Ragavan, which thankfully we'll be ready for with this command, if that does come to be the case. Otherwise, if they play pretty slow, Guide of Souls, I'm kind of tempted not to interact if you instead go Rumble. What's the worst case scenario? You play a Johnny. It's kind of fine. So I think we will Rumble here. Ugin Lab. And pass. Hold up the ability to respond. So next turn we can play Ugin Lab, Tuck Devourer. We'll have 6 mana, so we do find ourselves with a... So in Micro Spawn we can kick a Micro Spawn, otherwise we can pretty much exile any of their plays here of Kozilek's Command and Ramp. Elegant Parlor, awesome to see. Means no Johnny on 2. Also Pride into Yard. That's a bit surprising though. Opponent attacks. So definitely a bit of a slower hand by opponent. Haywire. I'm sorry, what? Am I missing something? I had literally thought for a second, and I got really confused, like someone just hit me for Ragavan and took my Haywire Mite, but I definitely didn't board in a Haywire Mite. Weird. I is confused. Okay. Tempted the Rumble again. Would mean we have to sacrifice the Eldrazi spawn, though. Oh. We have a land for next turn, so I'm not really hard-pressed to Rumble right now, so we'll just hold, especially if they have a Thraben Charm. I'm just confused by that Haywire Mite. Like, do they have green? And we just didn't see it last time? This is Naya energy? It's possible. I'll take the 2. Arid Mesa. Fetch. Do you got a Flage? Shock. 18. Flage or Seasoned Pyro? Molten Rain. We did know that was a possibility. We can still return it then X2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Otherwise, I can go X equals 4 and probably find something else instead. So I think I'll do that. They've already played their land for turn. They've already attacked. And I think we can definitely find another 7-mana value spell. So I think just ramping here is probably better. There's an Emrakul. I don't have a land in yard. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So bottom, top, top, and top. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just looking good. Draw. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think I will Rumble here. Gets another return in yard. We'll find a temple. All right. Triggers. And Bone scoops it up. We'll take the win. In retrospect, I think I should have played the Wooded Foothills and then Utopia Sprawled. The reason why I do say that is in the off chance that opponent had a Static Prison. That way I could cast Static Prison, target my own Utopia Sprawl. Otherwise, we would have been in a slight bit of trouble. But we got there. So, a little bit of a missequence on my part. I will bring back in the Gemstone Caverns and cut the Ghost Quarter. Because I do believe I normally cut Ghost Quarter here. Let me confirm. On the draw against energy, yes. Like, yeah, we could hit their Arena of Glory. If they Blood Moon us, then sure. But, like, they don't play Blood Moon anymore because they play Molten Rain. Stop it. That's my response to that. Stop. Stop playing Molten Rain. Alright, on the draw for game 3. This hand is not keepable in the slightest. Mulligan. This hand is very keepable. In fact, I will keep. What do we want to pitch, though? I guess a forest? Yeah. Pitch a forest. Next question is what we exile the gemstone. Could pitch the forest. Imagine if my opponent's going to Molten Rain, they're going to Molten Rain something that isn't the Gemstone Cavern. So yes, I'll exile the forest to it and pass. Gotta love Gemstone Cavern. Flooded Strand, fetch for Sacred Foundry, shock, and red for Ragavan. Gotta Souls. I'm okay with this. Especially because we have this Rumble and Dismember, even better. Green. I will take the KGC. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do grab the Talisman. Like, I do want KGC. KGC could be good if they just go Guide Us Souls. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go KGC. There's a world where they just play a 1-drop, and we want to go Karn EE for 1. Okay, attack with the Guide Us Souls. And what you playing thereafter? I could play Karn EE for 1 the turn that it's played, but we probably just hold the EE. What's the best case scenario off the top? Right now I have 4 mana, we could have 6, so maybe a sowing Myco spawn? I'm not sure I actually want to tuck the World Breaker out of fear of a Molten Rain. Static Prison. In response, I'm going to sack it. I might just as well Dismember here. We'll wait till phase change. So no energy for you. We are phase changing. I'm going to Dismember the Guide Us Souls. Misty Rain. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. If they, at this point, Molten Rain my land instead of dealing with this KGC, they have other problems. Minus KGC, ideally you want a Galvanic Discharge, I'd imagine. We can go one of two directions here. I could go Liquid Metal Coating, or I can start up with Chalice of the Void. I think I kind of want to go with Chalice of the Void and Chalice on 1. I'll go Chalice. That way if they have a Galvanic Discharge, we're still doing something. Fetch Varied Mesa, Elegant Parlor, Surveil Trigger. And they do go just a 1-drop, then we can easily deal with that with an EE as well as Chalice as well. I think we're in a decent position. There's a Discharge, so we're right to play with the Chalice in mind. Oh, and nothing else to follow up. Well, let's go Misty Rain. Fetch. Commercial District. It would mean I have to tap down the Ugin Lab, which is a bit scary. So I think I might just go Forest. Yeah, we'll just go Forest. And then Utopia Sprawl. For, let's just say blue. Then we'll cast Chalice for 1. And done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 land away from a World Breaker. Oh, look at that. They do have a green source. Weird. Why are you on Naya? Is it just for the Haywire? That doesn't seem right. Why Naya? Like, normally when I see Naya, I'm seeing, like, Rallier and that combo as just, like, a side option. A plan B, as it were. I guess maybe Birthing Ritual, but we haven't seen a single Birthing Rit, so that seems odd to me. Huh. I do think I will return Worldbreaker to hand on end step. Because that way if we draw into a land, we can exile one of theirs. I have a presence on board. Good old Chalice of the Void. Molten Rain? Rude. So I will not return Worldbreaker then, because we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that is fine. Draw. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, if you draw into a soul land, at the same time, we currently have 6. 6 is okay. It's not doing too much, though. I guess I'm sowing Myco Spawn. That's about it. So, probably right to just return Worldbreaker, and if we draw into a temple, we haven't seen any other temples so far this game, right? No. So yeah, just draw into a temple and then we can Worldbreak. If we draw into anything else, then it just advances us towards that Worldbreaker and or is castable. That'd be my thought, at least. Unless a Utopia Sprawl, in which case, rip. We only have 3 of those left in our deck. Opponent is Tinkin. Probably Tinkin, why can't I cast any of my cards in my hand? Either that, or they have like a Johnny, no way to flip it. They don't want to cast it because there is a chance where I do cast a 7-mana value spell, exile return, clear board, and then they're really left with nothing. So yeah, we're trying to find the temple off top. That would be the most ideal scenario. What are we thinking here, friend? Are we thinking or are we hardly thinking? I mean, this is why I like chess clocks for Magic, because like you can take as much time as you want to mull over your game plan, but like what does that matter, right? It's your clock that you're burning, not our collective clock. We share equal amounts of time. I mean, it's game 3 as well, so like if by some means they burn 12 minutes of time, either this was one of the best back and forth matches in history, not happening with this matchup, or something went horribly wrong. Either that or my opponent's duo queuing. Very possible. I have been guilty of doing that myself, but I feel like I still kept a pretty good pace. I think what I would do is I would duo queue Tron and was it Lotus Field? I used to duo queue. Don't recommend it. Thinking. All good. I mean, I appreciate them at least stating that they're thinking. Like, what is there to think about, though? You have 3 cards in hand. What could you possibly have that would make you think for close to, what, 3 minutes? Going on to 4? I mean, it's a 1-mana value spell. You can't cast it. Is it a Flage? A Molten Rain. Oh, I see. Yes, that makes sense. That was the right move. I don't know why it took you that long to figure it out. I'm tempted not to evoke this right now, but I think... So, actually... Wow, this is actually interesting. Do we evoke? I think we sit on the Null Drifter, unironically. Yeah, I think we sit on the Null Drifter. But that was the correct move by opponent. 1000%. Ranger Captain. Sure, grab your 1 mana value spell. This is fine. So you will sweep the Ranger Captain. What card will be in your hand that you cannot play? Ragavan. Alright, and we pass. Draw. Devourer. We'll evoke. Yeah, I think like kind of in the control mindset, holding the Null Drifter was correct. We'll draw 2 first. Opponent just goes, ugh. I mean, card does what the card does. I will sweep. I mean, I guess you could sacrifice the Ranger. I think it's actually correct to sacrifice the Ranger Captain here. There's no reason not to, other than the fact that it does allow me to keep a return. But it means that whatever I drew into, I can't cast, right? So I think it would have been correct to sacrifice the Ranger Captain. We'll play the Talisman, and then pass. So now we have a green source we can cast this Rumble with. And we're also 1 land off this Devourer, which can also trigger another return. Worst case scenario here would be that they find a Flage off top, and then... Actually, worst case scenario really is Flage off top, and then haste it with an Arena of Glory. We would be screwed. Ranger Captain. Okay. Choose another 1 mana value spell that you cannot play. So ideally we draw into a land, that way we can exile the Ranger Captain. So far I survived through what? 2 Molten Rains? Yeah. There's the Haywire Might that you can't cast. Draw. Talisman's a bit unfortunate. I will go green, colorless, Rumble. Emrakul, you say. 7. What are we missing from here? Hold up. You have land. You have Planeswalker. You have creature. What are we missing? Oh, actually, it may have been the source. No, it's not the sorcery. You have the enchantment. Was it the Kindred? It was the Kindred. So we'll have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Emrakul. And then 2, 4, 5. Trigger. No reason to sweep board here. But this should be the game. They have no real way to deal with Emrakul in a meaningful way. Ranger Captain will die to Emrakul. Alright, my turn. They have 2 unplayables in hand that we know of, which we'll just probably play into Chalice for the hell of it. I mean, yeah, I think this is GG's. Even a hasted Flage wouldn't be enough. It could deal me 6. But once again, they can't deal with the Emrakul. Trying to count, how is that possible? 8 types in yard. 5 mana on board. I mean, what do you mean, how's that possible? MTGO quite literally allowed it because Kozilek's command. K command counts as 2. Maybe the opponent doesn't realize about Kindred. Yep, Eldrazi type. Okay, so they didn't realize about K command. That is really important. Also, why All's Dust is being considered, just because it also does. Well, that was perfect. That it was. Which land do you think I should have taken? You took the right land. If it wasn't for the tally, I would be in a tough spot. Bombardment, so we could sacrifice Ranger Captain. We don't need to do that. We'll just go to draw. Sacred Foundry, no reason to play that. So we will just go to main and play Haramite into Chalice. Ragavan. Cast into Chalice. Go to combat. Attack of Ranger Captain. Block with Emrakul. And pass. And that should leave Sacred Foundry and Bombardment in hand. Land, which means all they have is land, bombardment, land. I think they should have probably fetched for a Surveil land if they have a third. Try and find a Flage off top and place it into yard. That had given them a turn. In fact, there might be a world where I wouldn't be able to attack. Yeah. So I think that probably was the right move, but I'm not sure how many Surveil lands they have in deck. So it's possible they just have the 2. That'd be hard-pressed to believe they don't have a Lush Portico in there. So, maybe a bit of a misplay. But all they have in hand at this point is a Sacred Foundry. So that should be GG's. Not sure what opponents think of either that. They might be typing. Might be just trying to get some more thoughts about the matchup. I was thinking keeping you off Rumble, top decks. But if you tap a Karn, that'd be bad as well. Difficult. GG's. Yeah, overall, I think they were just in a bad spot. Once I was able to establish that they didn't have a threatening board state, me being able to play the Karn and grabbing Chalice was probably the best move I could have made. If I had grabbed the local meta coding, much different story, but glad that we thought against that, realizing that it's likely that they're going to remove the Karn, so we just grabbed the Chalice instead. Even if they remove pieces of my board, we're in a good spot, and overall, worked out for us. So we'll be back for round 3. Alright, and we're back for round 3 on the play for game 1 against Canister, so we can only assume that we are up against Amulet Titan. Best draws here off the top. I mean, we don't have many good draws here. Malevolent Rumble, Kozilek's Command, Karn the Great Creator. Kind of it. I'll keep it. Try and set up. And hope our top decks are good. Forest, Sprawl for blue, pass, and pass. Saga, Amulet, yup. Cavern Soul's not what I want to see, so we'll Talisman. Commercial District trigger. Null Drifter top and pass. Hope Null Drifter can draw us into something of relevance. I mean, our game 2 and game 3 are definitely going to be better. But this game 1's going to be rough. Oh, Jesus. Okay. That could have been a lot worse. Null Drifter Evoke. There's the command we are looking for. It might be a little bit late. Play Eldrazi Temp and pass. I guess it really depends on what they do here. They have 3 amulets. There's no shot they don't have a GSC for 6 or a pact something. The Seiju, 3 Spelunking for a bounce land for 6. Either that or looking for one. They find the Golgari Rot Farm, which isn't as usual in Titan anymore. I'll let the amulets resolve. Do they just pick up the Beseiju and call it a day? It's possible. If they don't have a threat to cast. Oh. The thing is, if they have Scape Shift, GSC, GSC might not cut it. So Scape Shift or Pact, they win. Anything short of that, though, is kind of mid. But this tells me they have the Titan. And I guess they could have the Aftermath Analyst, and if that's the case, we do have the command. So it really comes down to this. Do they have the Titan? Titan can't OTK, at least not as easily anymore. No longer runs Keswick Wolf Run. Shit. Scape Shift. Bounce Land T-West? Probably. Yeah? So Bounce Land T-West. Systemic Growth T-West. Yep, so now they can grab Pact. They'll have 6. Trying to think here. They'll have 6, 9, 11 mana. 11 mana minus 3 is 8. So Simic Growth will pick up the T-West. Then T-West for Pact. Yes. Right now we can only command X1. There's Pact. So now they can go for Amulet Titan. Cultivator Colossus. Shoot. Was not expecting that one. Yes, Colossus resolves. Let's see how many cards they draw. There's Shifting Wood. And there's the Lotus Field. I mean, they have 30 lands in their deck. Christ, it just keeps going. Did it finally finish? I don't know even more at this point anymore. Okay, I think it finished. Okay. That's a lot of lanes you got there, friend. Saga Trigger resolves. resolve. And I still don't have the win yet. Very keywords there. Right now I have 6, while I have 8 mana next turn. Seven. Stock up resolves. Yeah, stock up is a new addition to Titan. Still not sure how I like it. But it is seen play over Rumble Explorer, so they're looking for something. Oh, there's the Handweir. Haste. Then you can mirror pull. I mean, this might be an OTK. It does have trample. Explore. Grazer. Yeah, you's got it, Fran. They picked up the Handweir, so now they mirror pool. Aftermath Analyst as well, you got to be joking me. The problem here is that Shifting Wood can activate. So like I can attempt to exile it now, but now they just Shifting Wood immediately. Gotta be joking me. Aftermath Analyst. Otherwise, actually, we could go for a Lotus Field. And the reason why Lotus Field is relevant, but no, they can just then mirror pool the Aftermath is the problem. Shoot. Even T-West doesn't do enough. I'll attempt to exile the Aftermath Analyst. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. It'll just make their lines more difficult, but nothing of ours any better. So now they Shifting Wood. We'll pass at this point. Because they can still mirror pool the token, or either the copy. Yeah, by this point, we're hands-free. You go off, friend. As long as they are able to loop this at instant speed. Kind of nutty when you think about it. This probably should have been a sorcery speed effect. Like, I imagine in testing, they never thought of this application, but in reality, it would be a little bit more tuned down if it was at sorcery speed only. But at this point, we'll just let them go off. No reason to say no. Yeah, at this point, Colossus is now 11-11 or 14-14, 15-15. They haste it, and then they win. Yeah, that's a GG's. That's a GG's. Alright, so Amulet Titan, lost for game 1. As I mentioned, game 1 against Titan is just not good. It's no bueno. We's are dead. Oh, and a Titan to add insult to injury. Go off, friend. I will never say no to my opponent burning more of their clock. Yep, you got it. Alright, on to game 2, shall we? So, Jailer in, can sign in, and take a look at my sideboard guide. Yeah, that looks to be it. So we'll bring those two in and then cut the return and the gemstone. Let's run it back. on the play for game 2 as a jailer, but otherwise this hand's a little bit sketch. It relies heavily on me top decking a land. I don't think I can keep this is the problem. This is much better. I will keep this. We go lab, imprint, impulse, temple, rumble. I'll keep and drop cavern. Actually, I think I dropped forest. Done. Imprint. Cast. Pass. So now we're looking for a sowing Myco spawn off of Rumble. Draw. Ghost Quarter is good. Tempted to... I mean, there's a chance they go for a turn 2 win, right? What's the world that is required to do that here? I don't think there's a world where they can. So I think we go Temple, Rumble. Grab the Sowing Myco spawn. Next turn we can kick. Mycosynth Gardens. Aftermath Analyst. Not thrilled by that prospect. Cave, Explore, Explore. Rumble number 2. Gonna kick a Sowing Myco spawn here and then just play the Ghost Quarter. You could bog. I'm not sure that's necessary, so I think we go Temple. We hold Ghost Quarter. That way, even with a Talisman, Ghost Quarter can stop them. Saga. I don't think Saga by itself is enough for me to Ghost Quarter. I think Ghost Quarter is better in a scenario that we... At the same time, I can grab them an Amulet. I think we just leave that, yeah. So tempted to Ghost Quarter, but I think that's bait. Draw. KGC. So... 4, 2... I will... 4... 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, I think I see what I will do here. So we'll play Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. Play KGC. Minus KGC. And we are going to play Soulless Jailer. So no graveyard shenanigans, friend. I'll attack. So we have the graveyard locked down. We have Ghost Quarters here as well. There's a Vestige. They could make a Construct. I'm okay with that if they do. Spelunking. Okay, Spelunking resolves. I might want to go for a Haywire Mite to get rid of Spelunking. Crumbling Vestige. Trigger. That's 2. Do you have a Seiju for the Soulless Jailer? You do not. Draw. Opponent's thinking on upkeep. Why? You only have colorless, so you can't cast anything. So the only thing I can think of, they're thinking of whether or not to concede. I will start off with a... okay. Let's cancel that. Play Forest. And Rumble. That is pretty useless, not gonna lie. I'll grab the breeding pool. Oh, I just messed up though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, if we just minus here Stone Brain. And get rid of Amulet Titan. Not Titan, Primeval Titan. Primeval Titan. There's a Colossus in hand as well as a Scape Shift. The Scape Shift might be enough, which is a bit upsetting. It was second Spelunking, so even the first one wouldn't be enough. Yep. So is the Ghost Quarter correct here? No, they don't have double green, but they will with the Golgari Rot farm is the problem. The thing is they'll have an amulet. Let's Ghost Quarter. Pass. And then I'll attack the Sowing Mycospawn. Yeah. Maybe the Haywire Mite was correct, but I'm not sure. I did mess up, to be fair. So there's not Spelunking, Scape Shift, Otawara, and then Scape Shift. And at this point, we got nothing, so we'll pass. You need to get rid of Jailer. That's the biggest thing. There's the Boseiju for the Jailer. Maybe it was right at this point to grab a Tormod's Crypt as a secondary way to exile the Yard, but then they had the Titan in hand. And the only way for us to deal with that at that point in time would have been able to get rid of both the Saga and the Spelunking. So we would have needed to grab both Haywire Mite and also did that. Commercial District, trigger. The problem is now they'll Cultivator Colossus. And they likely just win on the spot. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate this matchup. Like, yeah, I want to get rid of, like, the Titan. We want to stop the Aftermath Analyst. So I could have... Okay, I think just point blank statement, I think I did mess up. I know for a fact I messed up by not going for the Haywire Mite. If we had gone for the Haywire Mite, then they would have had to have played Spelunking again. It would have given us a turn. So that would have been something at least, versus now I think we just lose. Because Urza's Cave can sack here for T-West. Yeah? Now, they can't get Shifting Woodlands easily, though. So I'm pretty sure they should Urza's Cave before this Simic Growth Chamber trigger. And that's exactly what they're going to do. No. Oh, they played a land this turn? They did. They played the Otawara. I guess they can still Spelunking. So yeah, maybe the might was right. My thought process was that if they just had another, or if they had a, whatchamacallit, amulet in hand, it wouldn't matter anyways. And so I played around that possibility. I mean, they had Colossus, Scapeshift, and Titan in hand. So the only right move in that case, I really do think, was minus Karn Haywire Might, exile Spelunking, and destroy the Saga. Yeah. There's Colossus. Let's see how deep they can go. I mean, all they need is a Shifting Woodland, and I think they win. No, well, Shifting Woodland will not... will give them infinite mana, but it won't give them the win. They'd still need an outlet. Because Colossus is just not stopping. And Urza's Cave now gives them another chance at T-West. Yeah, so I think my only line was Haywire Might and Saga. I'll fully admit I messed up by not going Forest and, Cavernous Souls, or Forest anything else for the Rumble. That's what I should have done. And that would have allowed me the ability to minus Karn for Haywire Might. I mean, at this point, yeah, the Shifting Woodland's there. I haven't seen a Dryad once yet, so I wonder if they're not on Dryad Valakut plan. Stock up again. They would have given me a turn if I would have done that, because they would have 4 mana, a bounce land, and... oh, would it have? Hold on. 4 mana, Spelunking down to 1, bounce land up to 3, bounce land up to 5. Yeah, it would have given me a turn. Damn. Well, there's the Mirror Pool. So Mirror Pool, so they can haste the Colossus. Now they Mirror Pool Colossus. No, actually, so they Shifting Woodland. Yeah, Shifting Woodland, the Aftermath Analyst. Oh, they're just going to Mirror Pool? Interesting. I thought they would have Shifting Woodland first. Is it a may or a must? You may put a land. That's important to know. Looks like this version is really Cultivator Colossus Beats. Huh. Down to 2 cards. Unfortunately, I can't force you to draw. There's the T-West. They pick up the T-West. What the hell do you want with T-West at this point? So Shifting Wood will copy the Aftermath. Yep. Aftermath will trigger. getting them, once again, close to infinite mana. And then they will sack. Oh, they already sacked the Aftermath. So then they need to sack the Hainweir Battlement. And then rinse repeat with Aftermath. That way they can haste the second Cultivator Colossus. Though actually, it's not even necessary, is it? Because the Colossi are already 24/24s? Yeah? So they already have the win. Even if they sack 4 here. Why do that? There's no reason to, right? All they need to do at this point is just swing. This is just a win more. Like, this is already a 19/19. I can only block with 0/1. So I'll just let them keep on going, but like, we've definitely lost. Fails to find. Okay. Sure. Woodland. Activates. So Hainweir's back on board. They can copy another Cultivator Colossus. They can actually copy 2 because of the Echoing Deeps or the Vesuva. So now they have 2. Now can haste both Cultivator Colossus for good measure. I mean, theoretically speaking, you have infinite Colossi. Interesting. So it's actually good to see this because, yeah, there's no Dryad in this version. No Dryad, no Valakut. So it's a bit of a different line, a bit more reliant on Cultivator Colossus. Huh. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, just play all your cards at this point. Well, unfortunately, losing game 2 to a misplay on my part. I mistapped and paid dearly for it. If we had gone for the Haywire Might like I initially planned, then we would have gotten at least a turn to do something about it. No blocks. You got it, friend. GG's. Huh. Well, that sucks. My thought, at least with the Malevolent Rumble, is okay, maybe we find something better than the Haywire Might. And of course, I didn't want to tap. I think at the time I didn't have the Cavern. Maybe I did, but I didn't want to tap that for... That way we wouldn't be able to Null Drifter. And I didn't want to tap the Eldrazi Temple because then we'd be, wasting a soul land. So I think that's where my mind went, like, oh, okay, we want a color source. We can just go Talisman, forgetting that was our only other source. So, bit of a misplay on my part. Should have went Forest, Tap, Temple, Malevolent Rumble, see if we see anything of value. We didn't. We would then be able to evoke the Null Drifter. We want to draw 2 more. We would been able to destroy the Urza Saga, exile the Spelunking. That would have given us 1 turn and 2 draws. So I think that probably, and not even probably, that was the right play. Now, of course, if in an instance we got nothing after that, we would have been SOL 1000%. But obviously we can't tell what it would have looked like if we would have played correctly. So sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, sometimes you make mistakes, and it costs you the game, and by process, the match. But, as I say all the time, I'm by no means the best player, but I am striving to do better. So, we'll be back for round 4. Alright, and we're back for round 4 on the draw for game 1. Let's see if we can close out this prelim 3-1, shall we? Maybe redeem ourselves from our earlier blunder. I will keep this. Ideally want to see a land off the top. As we go Lab, Breaker, Talisman, Land. Either hold up Command or play the Mega Spawn. We'll pass. Whoa, hello. That looks like Ruby Storm. No bueno. We are going to have to ramp hard here. So this is Ruby Storm. Not a great place to be on the draw for game. Okay, it definitely seems like Storm. I'm just confused though. Utopia Sprawl for red. I think we do need to hold up the command. Why the blue? Is it Ruby Storm hasn't been seen in a hot minute? I'm a bit surprised not to be seeing Boros. That's why that island kind of threw me off, not gonna lie. So now we're hoping that they play Ral and not Medallion. If they play Medallion, we're gonna be in a bit of trouble. So we kind of 50-50 in it here. The other option would have been to play Karn, grab Tormod's Crypt, and sit. But the command does enable more plays. What say you, opponent? If you go Ritual Ral, then I think we should be fine. If you go Ritual Medallion, I think we might be SOL. At the very least, we can hold up the command X2 still for Past in Flames. But not exactly a great position to be in. I mean, they're going to play the Scouting Tarn, most likely. And at the very least, the Ritual, regardless of whether or not they try and go off this turn. So here's the Ritual. Well, I guess they could... it doesn't matter the order, right? The Mana Reducer or the Ritual first. Though actually, if they played the Ral, then the Scouting Tarn, that would be the worst case scenario. Because then they go to fetch of the Scouting Tarn, we immediately exile Ral. And then they're left with a Ritual in exile. Yeah. So they really need to go Ritual first. Maybe they don't need to go Ritual first. They at least need to go Scouting Tarn fetch first. Okay, they go Ritual first. 3. Scouting Tarn. Fetch. Steam Vent Shock to 17. Stock up. Fascinating. So it's basically trying stock up. That's why they're on blue. Interesting. Go to end step. Command X equals 2. Let's see here. Bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 4 would be 4. I was thinking whether or not we could kick a Myco Spawn. Otherwise, we can go Soin Myco Spawn for Bojuka Bog and Karn, but then we wouldn't be able to play the Soulless Jailer. I'll still put this on top. Rumble. So we at least need to have 6 mana, which we will have. So I think I will Rumble. Commercial District. So KGC. minus KGC. For Soulish Jailer. District, Graveyard, and pass. And pass. Stock up. Stock up does get around Jailer, I will admit. So that was one upside of that. And it's also 3 mana, so it gets around Chalice. Minus KGC. Yes. Chalice of the Void. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 4. Opponent's gonna scoop. Okay. And yes, I could have gone Chalice earlier, but I wanted to get 2 lock pieces down. And if I went Chalice first, I couldn't play Jailer after. Because my one fear of it being Izzet is that they might have main deck Flame of Anor, which was my main concern there. So let's see. We cut return. Let me take a look at my sideboard guide. On the draw versus Ruby Storm. So yeah, cut return, cut to Karn. Bring in Jailer, bring in Dismember. And bring in Chalice EE. And cut Ghost Quarter. Alright, we'll send it back. Yeah, normally in Boros they don't have main board hate, whereas Izzet, they tended to play Flame of Anor. Maybe like as a one-of, but still having only one lock piece kind of felt a little bit rough. Or they got rid of the Jailer, then we could just follow up with either Chalice or another Jailer. Alright. Let's see what our opening hand looks like. Alright, so yes, we can keep this. We're ideally looking for another soul land, so we can try and keep Ral off board. That'd be the hope, at least. So they go down to 6, they'll keep 6, we'll reveal 2 Devourer and pass. You could also just find Jailer off top. Trigger 1, trigger 2. Well, there's the lab, so we'll take lab. Trigger 2. When we keep it the lab, or we find a hate piece. Because like a turn 1 Jailer might be correct. Dismember, we'll go with lab. As long as they don't win on turn 2, we should be okay. Imprint and pass. Fetch for a Surveil land, I guess a Thundering Falls? Yes. Baral? Eh? What? Huh? Brawl? Brawl. Huh? Excuse me, opponent? I'll be honest, friend. I'm mildly confused. Maybe they're playing both Brawl and Ral? That'd be my only thought. I mean, we have to exile Brawl. That's not an option. And pass? Hold up the ability to respond? Maybe this is like Budget Storm? Why Brawl? Even the stock ups kind of seem a bit suspect in my opinion. Because in order for them to... I mean... It's like the same cost as Wish. I don't know. Like 3 mana, you need 2 mana reducers for it to be valuable. Rit. Okay, do you have another mana reducer in the way of Ral? Or another Medallion, maybe. But wait, no. Okay, so you have Ral. I guess maybe Baral is in place of Medallion if they're playing stock up, because Medallion doesn't reduce... Maybe that's it. Because Medallion doesn't reduce the cost of stock up. So maybe they're playing Baral in place of Medallion? That would make sense. Yes. Okay. I think I understand where our opponent's at now. They won the flip, but they can't flip Ral. Right now it's their only mana reducer. They're at 3 mana. Do you have stock up for 2? Or another impulse draw? If they fizzle here, we're in a good position. Though I would have liked to have had one of the Devourers in hand, maybe. Yeah, maybe in retrospect I should have kept one of the Devourers. Immediately tap for a Wish. I mean, you could wish for Underworld Breach. Play Breach, and then play Manamorphose for 2. Galvanic Relay. Okay. They don't want to flip Ral. They're 1 short. Yep. They did miss that. Yeah, can't do anything about that, though. So, we can go... Oh, that's so unfortunate. I mean, I thought about the Talisman of Curiosity. I just wasn't expecting them to flip Ral. Double stock up. Let's see. We could Bajuka Bog. Otherwise, we can just hold up Tormod's Crypt. So... Let's take a look at sideboard. Yeah, holding up the Crypt might be correct. Talisman... KGC. Does mean we won't be able to minus again if they plus Ral. So, or I guess it's a minus Ral. Tormod's Crypt. Tormod's Crypt. So now we just hold for Past in Flames. Yep, so they won't be able to hit the KGC, which means if we do get another turn, we should be in a good spot. Because we'll be able to grab... whatchamacallit? Be able to grab... Soulless Jailer. Just was not expecting them to flip Ral before it got to 8. So at that point, then it didn't matter. Rit. Stock up. Oh, Galvanic Relay, that's right. Galvanic Relay can cast Ral. For some reason I was sitting here going, what? But no, that makes sense because Galvanic Relay, not Ral's ability. Right. Stock up. So they're at 3 for Ral. 4 Storm Count, 3 for Ral. You can play stock up. Yep, it's for 1 this time. We need to get to 6. Yeah, so unfortunate. If only I had cast the Talisman, sacking the spawns. I just wasn't expecting that to be relevant, I'll be honest. There's the Rit. So now they can flip Ral, but they lost the flip. Ren's Resolve. They lost the flip. Yeah, if they get unlucky though. I mean, there's another Rit. Ral's not doing too much unless they... Okay, well there's Past in Flames. So what they're going to do now, we're going to... Well, first, let's flip the Ral. So trigger Ral. You lose the flip. In response to the Past in Flames. What they'll do is they'll cast the Rit now. Sorry, I guess after the Tormod script, yeah. Now we pass in full, we cannot do anything. They win the flip, they flip Ral. I'd imagine. Okay. And, I mean, at this point, we just wait until we die. Yeah. Unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed. I do wonder if that was a mistake on my opponent's part, not realizing that though it was Storm Count 6, it was only 5 instants or sorceries, or if that was intentional. Realistically speaking, it kind of doesn't matter. Electromancer as well. Okay, now this just gets strange. Like, this feels like old Ruby's, or like old Storm mixed with new. Weird. Not trying to feel about it. I mean, Ral's definitely an improvement. Not sure stock up is good. Wait, what? I'm not dead? Huh? Huh? How I know dead? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 4 would be 3. How am I not dead? Kick a Myco spawn? Actually, might even want to kick. I wonder if I just want to cast Myco spawn Bajuka Bog, get rid of the remainder in their yard. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so I'd have to go Myco spawn. Bajuka Bog. Bog target you. minus KGC? Yes. For Soulish Jailer? Cash Jailer? Pass? And pass. Realm Plus. So they have the mana reduction. Oh, they have the Braid. Ew. Okay. Was not expecting that, I'll be honest. Huh. Electromancer. So now they have them. Everything's -2. Huh. Weird. And I guess if we get another turn, we'll just evoke the Null Drifter. Rit. 4 mana. I mean, so much of their deck is an X. Sure. I guess now I can't play... Well, I can't evoke the Null Drifter at least. I still can play it, though. Valakut Awakening. They can play that, but it'd be the last card they play. Because did they play a land this turn? They might not have. No, they played a Scouting Tarn. So they can play... They can cast the Valakut Awakening and draw 5. They drew 2. Draw. K command. K command's better than Null Drifter here. So I think we just scry draw, trying to find a hate piece. Maybe save a green? If so, for what? Right now it's X equals 4. I think we just go full in. 5. Done. No hate pieces exactly. Bottom. 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 Bottom top. Well, plus the KGC. And maybe just hold up Command X3? Like, we could try and dig 3 deeper. Again, to try and find a Jailer. It'd only be Jailer, though, is the problem. Have we played a land this turn? It wouldn't matter. We wouldn't be able to do both. So yeah, I think we just hold X3 then. And... attack... Do we even care about KGC at this point? Not really. Should we have anything in exile? No, nothing of note. So if they attack KGC, do we care? I don't think so. I think we just attack them then. We're just looking for the win here. Go down to 6. They have 11 cards left in their deck. 5 in hand, 6 in hand. They've already used the Past in Flames. Arid Mesa Fetch, do they fail to find? They might. Find the Thundering Falls. Keeps it on top. Okay. Ren's Resolve. There's a Past in Flames. Did I play a stock up before or after? Rit. Yes. Again, we have an X equals 3. Ral plus stock up. Debating whether or not exiling the Electromancer is correct here. There's stock up, that resolves. Three storm count. Manamorphose resolves. They must be looking for a wish. Actually, what they might need to do is they might have to Grape Shot and then Past Inflamed the Grape Shot. Huh. Because how do they kill me this turn? Four cards left in deck. All float. They should phase change here, but they also have mana tied up in the phase. They can't. They're just trying to up the storm count as much as possible. Impulse. There's Baral. Are you out of wishes? No shot. And there's Grape Shot. Okay, so yeah, they're going to try and Past Inflames the Grape Shot. So I think if we exile it, we might win unless they have another wish. There's only 5 unknown cards. Seems like all of them are going at me. Yes. That will resolve. So if you try and cast Past Inflames, we'll exile it. Cause command. I think we might just scry draw here and exile. Actually, I think I will exile. So exile you finally. And then 1, 2, 3, I suppose. Actually, how many writs do they have? They have 2 writs. Let me just go for the rituals. And done. And at this point, we pass. So unless you have another wish, I think we win. Okay. Yeah, we got there. What a weird match. Yeah, that's the best way I can put that. What a weird match. An interesting brew of Ruby Storm. I do not think it's the next big thing. I like the idea of stock up. And I see what direction they're going for in the way of trying to make that work with Baral with Electromancer, I just think that it probably is a worse version in comparison to the stock version. But definitely interesting to see. So happy to have seen it. With that being said, that there is the end of today's prelim. We ended it with a 3-1 record, only losing to Amulet Titan, which I would say we definitely made a misplay in game 2, which did cost us the game and subsequently the match. But otherwise, everything else was pretty solid. Very, very happy with the remainder of the matches and games. But as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or just some general feedback. It is always appreciated. And last but not least, if you aren't already and have gotten to this point in the video, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It is much appreciated as we're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, we'll be back tomorrow with another video. I'll see you then, folks. Bye-bye!